I would like to welcome on stage Natalie Ruckers, VP of Product from Deepgram, who will walk you through the key ingredients of an enterprise-grade voice experience and how Cognigy and Deepgram together are going to help you deliver just that. Welcome on stage, Natalie.
Thank you. All right, since we just came back from lunch, I want to start off with a quick raise of hands. So who has AI running in production today? Excellent, lots of hands. Who is using AI in production to automate their chat conversations? Okay, a little fewer hands. And who is using AI in production to automate their voice conversations? Great, I love to see it. Now, of those hands that got raised, which of your customers would say that they love that experience? See? If you looked around the room, you would see very few hands. So this is what we're going to talk about today, why voice is so difficult. So as New mentioned, I'm Natalie. I'm the VP of Product at Deepgram. Deepgram is used by 200,000 developers to go to scale with speech-to-text, text-to-speech, and in the future, speech-to-speech. So Deepgram has been around for the last 10 years. We are a foundational AI company focused on voice. And when we say that, what we mean is that we are labeling all of our own data, we are training all of our own models, we are adapting those models for enterprise use cases, and we are hosting and offering those models at scale. And people often say, okay, is Deepgram a models provider? Are they an engineering company? Well, the truth is, to do voice well at enterprise scale, you have to be great at both. So what we do is we rapidly productize our models. We offer those to our customers through our runtime platform, which is optimized to be used through an API or SDK. You can call out to our hosted APIs. We can also deploy our models in your own hosted environments, self-hosted environments. So AWS, Azure, even bare metal, we can deploy our models onto that. And what you get with that is our ability to adapt those models to meet your end use cases. We can generate data to fine-tune those models. And we can also use multiple models at the same time to fulfill your requests. And so that has allowed us to go to production with a number of companies building their own voice experiences, go directly to end customers through our partners like Cognigy or Twilio, or even work directly with some enterprise companies. Now, when we think about, okay, what do we need to do from a research perspective? What do we need to do to operate at scale? We're always starting from first principles. And this is largely due to the fact that our founders are physicists at heart. And so they're always trying to take a step back and say, what do we need in order to deliver the best conversational experience? And not just how do we do that from where is technology at today, but rather, okay, let's think about what makes good and what can a human do in a conversation. And when you click into that, you'll notice that a human can multitask. They're processing multiple information streams at once. They're applying context. So you step into a room and you behave very differently in a professional context versus a family context. And you're adjusting your approach. You're comprehending what's being said, even though it has nuance. You're responding very quickly, typically within 300 to 500 milliseconds. You're also taking turns with the person that you're engaging with. So you know when someone has finished speaking, whether they're interrupting, and you can adjust. And then you're also emoting. So if someone's telling a great joke, you're laughing. If someone's telling you something maybe not so great, you're being empathetic. And then finally, you're taking action based on what is happening in that conversation. And we've come a long way in conversational experiences, but this is still where today's conversational AI tends to fall down. And these are the problems that Deepgram is deeply invested in thinking about and fixing at large scale. And so what we hear from our customers building with voice is that they may have had success automating their text conversations. But they come to voice and they say that, okay, everybody knows that perception and voice and cost, those are the hard parts. And even the LLM providers that we work with say that voice is different than text. We have to take a different approach here. And so we work with customers all along this tech adoption curve to help them figure out how should they approach going to production, what problems are they likely going to run into, how do we need to adapt in order to best meet their needs. And solving for voice use cases in enterprise is very different from the voice assistants that you get to use in consumer use cases. You have to have the highest accuracy. You need to keep things low latency. You need to be able to have high throughput at scale. You need to deploy in your own environments. And then you need high reliability, efficiency, adaptation, and debuggability. So we're going to talk about how Deepgram's offerings serve all these things. So Deepgram and Cognigy partner together so that in Cognigy's AI agent stack, you can utilize Deepgram's voice offerings. You can get our best-in-class speech-to-text with Nova 3, which has a 54.3% reduction in word error rate versus the competition, and in a streaming context. We have real-time multilingual streaming, fast adaptation, and then you can also call out to our text-to-speech models so that you're getting both the listening side of the brain as well as the speaking side of the brain. So let's jump into speech-to-text here. So Deepgram has, let's say, 3 new offerings for speech-to-text. We have our Nova 2 models, which are high-performance, single-language models. We have support for over 36 different languages with EU coverage. And those can be customized to your end-use case, not just in terms of the vocabulary that your customers are speaking, but also the acoustic environments. So right now, thankfully, all of you are being very nice and listening to my presentation, but sometimes we operate in very noisy environments. And Nova 3 acknowledges that, hey, those noisy environments are hard. And so we've specifically adapted those models to work better in those use cases while also giving you higher levels of flexibility and stepping into a global context. Now, we also have use case-specific models. So we call out our Nova 3 medical model here. That has a wider set of vocabulary, but we also have use case-specific models for things like finance, meetings, you name it. So Nova 3 is our latest speech-to-text model, and we'll double-click into this. But as I mentioned, it has support for those noisy enterprise environments, rapid self-serve customization, and real-time multilingual support, which is brand new in the market. All right, let's look at some stats, because this is what we appreciate. So something that is very different about Deepgram is that there are many companies that will readily benchmark against publicly available data sets. But when it comes down to what you are actually seeing in production, those are not representative. And so what we as a company do is we always make sure to do benchmarks of us versus the competition on data sets that our customers are actually going to be going live with. So you're getting a true representation of these are the types of accuracies that we're going to be seeing. These are the types of latencies that we will be seeing once we go live. So word error rates, lower is better. On the left, you see Deepgram's models, Nova 3 and Nova 2, both for pre-recorded files, as well as streaming files on the right. And you'll notice that there are way more providers that start on the pre-recorded sense versus on the streaming sense, because a lot of these models are not meant to be run in streaming contexts. But Deepgram as a company is building for real time. We're building for voice agents, and that influences everything that we do. Now, these models are getting very good out of the box because we've incorporated a lot of data, but there are still always going to be those things that you need to get right, whether that's a product name, your customer's name, drug names. You need to be able to have that control. And so we've introduced an ability to prompt for important keywords in case you are already seeing high accuracy on them. And so We have an example here from one of our customers who works in the veterinary space. Before key term prompting, they were only seeing about 40% of the important key terms get recognized. But after applying those key term prompts, they got that up to 90%. That's a huge difference in being able to have their vets be able to automate their notes, actually engage with the people that they're working with, and move on and be more productive. Now, I mentioned that with Nova 3, we are also introducing the ability to transcribe real-time, code-switching, multilingual conversations at very low latency. And so in the past, if you wanted to do this, you either had to say, we just can't do real-time, or we're going to pick the main language that we're working with. And so this allows you to have someone calling in, speaking Spanish. They'll switch to English. You don't have to switch the agent that's talking to them. You can instead just have that conversation naturally flow. So alongside the listening component, Deepgram also offers the ability to talk back. And we take a very similar approach to text-to-speech as we do with speech-to-text. We recognize that if you're building voice agents, you're working with a speech-to-text, you're working with an LLM in the middle, and then you're working with a TTS. And that LLM needs as much time as possible in order to do the thinking, to call out to your knowledge bases, to call out and do function calling. And so what you're trying to do is minimize the time spent listening and spent speaking. And so we've also similarly built our TTS for real-time purposes, but still with high-quality human-like emotion and contextual applications that you want it to be actually good in an enterprise use case. And rather than simply training on only audiobook data, where you get a lot of people talking like this, being really excited, we're going to actually have people sound like the customer agents that you already employ. And if a customer is screaming at you, you probably should not scream back. You need to calm down, and our TTS will do the same thing. So as I mentioned, we keep our TTS extremely low latency. We have it be contextually applied so that if someone's reading a number, it knows to slow down. If someone is starting to get more excited, you can be more excited. And we are starting with English, but throughout the year we'll be scaling out to a number of other languages. We want to match the support that we have for speech-to-text with over 36 languages, and we have a wide scale of voices that we offer as well. And one thing that we as a company recognize is that in order to operate at scale, at enterprise scale, you also need to have extreme cost efficiency. And so our models that we will be offering are very cost efficient out of the box. Now, okay, you can all put hands on this product yourself, but I also want to go and do a live demo. So what we're going to see here is a quick example of a voice agent where I will talk. Deepgram's Nova 3 speech-to-text will listen. It will send through an LLM to do some thinking, and then we'll have our text-to-speech talk back. All right, we'll hope that this goes well. Demos are always risky, especially live ones, but let's give it a shot. Hello?
Thank you for calling Deepgram Airlines. My name is Aura. How may I assist you today?
Yeah, I need to cancel a reservation.
May I have your name, please?
Natalie Rutgers.
Oh, Natalie Rutgers. Are you the one speaking at Cognigy Nexus?
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of that right now.
That's exciting. May I have the reservation number, please?
Sure, it's FX1351.
Let me confirm that reservation number. That's FX1351. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I see this reservation is for San Francisco. Is this the reservation you wish to cancel?
Yeah, that's it.
Your reservation has been successfully canceled. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly.
Awesome, thanks.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's good, thank you.
Thank you for calling Deepgram Airlines. Say hello to the people at Cognigy Nexus for me.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so it is live. If I can interrupt it, I can ask it other questions if I want. But if you want to see it yourself and try to bombard it, we'll be over at our booth, and I'll have this running. But for now, that's all I have for you, unless there are questions. Thank you.